Cactus and Succulent growers, I'm Lynn, and welcome to Desert Plants of Avalon. And what better day to start off a Cactus and Succulent update in the Polytunnel than the 1st of December. Yes, it's December already, guys, so it's sort of very early winter, and the weather, I have to say, up until the past couple of days has been bitterly cold. We have had snow, we have had frost, we have had ice, and I've had the polytunnel heater going, keeping the plants topped up at 5 Celsius, 41 Fahrenheit, so they've all been safe. However, now it's the 1st of December, the weather has gone unbelievably warm for this time of year. It is crazy, as you can see in my summer gear in December, guys. So then, it's been a while since I've done an update with the Cactus and Succulent collection in the Polytunnel, so perfect, now it's December. And before I show you the whole collection, I just want to mention that I've got a lot of cacti and succulents also in the house, because I brought a lot of them in for the autumn time when the weather starts to go colder. So I'm going to be doing another video probably in a few days time, certainly in a week or two, of all the indoor collection of cacti and succulents I have, because they normally come out here during the spring and summer months. But this is everything I've got here in the polytunnel that I'm keeping in the winter. So then, guys, I'm going to start off with this side here and talk a little bit about the plants. I won't be mentioning all of their individual names, it could be way too long a video. So if you see any cacti or succulents that you see that you want to know the name of, do let me know where it appears in the video and describe the cactus or the succulent a little bit, and I'll let you know the name as much as possible. So then, guys, happy 1st of December and enjoy the tour. So then, guys, I'm going to start on this side of the polytunnel first of all and go through all the plants to show you a little bit of a tour. But I just want to start off and say, obviously it's the 1st of December today, and just look how warm it is, guys. This here, it's 13 Celsius, and this is the 1st of December, and as I mentioned, we've had a very cold spell of weather up until sort of the past couple of days, so weather is all over the place. Anyway, enough of my waffle, let's get going. And I'm not going to be mentioning the whole entire names of all the plants because it'll be a very long video. It's more of a little bit of an update tour and show you what I've got here. As I say, I mentioned I've got lots of plants that I've got into the grow room that I'm overwintering, so I'll do a separate video on the grow room in the coming days. So this is one of my lovely Trichocereus here as well, and more Trichocereus, Opuntias, and these are the ones, the Opuntias that are more colder hardy, and the majority of Opuntias, and I've got a lot here, guys, so I'll show you them in a minute, are very cold hardy, but there are some that are not, so I've also got some of them in the grow room as well. And this one is a Opuntia gigantea. Got a couple of these here, lovely big buttes. Another Trichocereus here. These are this one is Trichocereus peruvianus and Trichocereus pacanoi there. I have a lot of Trichocereus, which I'm going to show you when I do the other side. And here I've got Pachycereus pringlei and a Cactus variety here. Also another Trichocereus peruvianus there, lovely blue colour to it. Whoa, my Trichocereus grandiflora here, and look how it grows like a snake. This was blooming stunning with the most amazing red flowers over the summer, and that's another one there, another Trichocereus there. And this one here is a Labivia, a Camelocereus Camelobivia hybrid, lovely fatty one there. That was also blooming gorgeous over the summer. Here I've got my Agave filifera, big butte, and these are pretty cold hardy, but I've took it in this year into the polytunnel because last year we had a lot of rain over the winter and they do need to be kept dry over the winter. So if I was able to give this some shelter, I could have kept it out because they can take degrees below frost as long as they're dry. But as I say, I've got the space here at this moment in time to have this overwintering in here, and it looks lovely. And I've got my Yucca elephanti peas. And this is a house plant that it can cope with 5 Celsius, 41 degree Fahrenheit temperatures, as long as it's protected from frost and things like that. So it does well here in the polytunnel. It's all bubble wrapped at the moment for winter as well. And as I've mentioned in a few of my videos, I have the heater there that comes on if the temperature in the polytunnel drops below 5 Celsius, 41 degree Fahrenheit. So it does its magic. And my aloe arborescens there that I've grown from seed myself. It's quite big. And yes, I'm going to have to repot this at some point. Possibly not possibly. I'll have to repot this next year because you can see, although it has a shallowish root system, it is going to need to be repotted. And I've got here underneath the table all my aloes. Well, some of my aloes, I've got more on the back, but these are my larger growing aloes, all different types. I've also got some Haworthia as well here. So there's a little bit mixed up. This one, Haworthia teditata, for example. And then I've got other types of aloes, some bigger ones at the back there. And this lovely aloe Gerena, big plant there. And yeah, these stumps are aloe propagations, so they look pretty ugly, but come the spring they'll all sort of side shoot with new sort of growth. And this aloe vera here, lots in this bowl also. And some aloes. They're a little bit scruffy looking at the moment because I need to tidy them up with the leaves. And I have been doing a lot of work here in the polytunnel, so apologies if it's looking a little bit messy. I've sort of been all over the place having to work in here when it's not too cold, and also in between everything else I have to do as well. So that's the aloes under here. And then I'm going to get here onto the table with the cacti. I just want to mention here, this is my Cactus Colodimonsis, my gorgeous monkey's tail cactus. And believe it or not, 1st of December today, and yes, it is coming into bud. Crazy. And it's not meant to at this time of year. And I don't think these buds are going to come to anything because of the shorter days. But as I say, the weather has been so crazy. 3 buds there. Look at that. And also a bud there. And I don't... See, it's a dilemma when you have cacti coming into bud when I normally keep them all dry at this time of year. I won't be giving this any water despite it coming into bud because, you know, the weather could go very cold again and they can't sit in damp soil. However, this plant can take a wee bit of water if it's in active growth, but I'm going to hold back on it because I can't really water this at this time of year, so I don't know if these buds are going to come to full term or not. But it's amazing. I think the weather's just been so mild, the plants are getting confused, and I think it's like that for a lot of people around the world at the moment. My lovely Raybutia albipilosa here. Look at that. I just love this beautiful clumping beauty. It's like a load of snowballs, isn't it? And a lot of mixture of my other Raybutias here. And Gymnoclysins. As I say, I can't go through every single one and explain all the names because it's going to take too long. My Mammillarias here. If you see a particular cactus that you want to know the name of, do let me know where it appears in the video and just give it a bit of description of what it looks like, and I can let you know in more detail. My Mammillary red-headed Irishman. And I've gone over these and sprinkled a lot of them with, well, all of them with Diatomaceous earth. So if you see bits of white powder and clumps, it's not mealybugs, it's the Diatomaceous earth I've sprinkled onto them. The Trichoceros there, Echinopsis, more Gymnos, and in this table more Mammillarias here. Copperpoas, more Copperpoa here. Mammillaria hahiana with lovely fruit pods forming on it. Look at that whole ring of awesome fruit pods. Gorgeous. And more Mammillaria here. Gorgeous Mammillaria bombicina. Echinopsis subdenudata. Again, this is in flower bud, but this has been like this for the summer. I'm going to be pulling these dead flower heads off, and I'm going to be doing a video on all the little plant jobs you need to be doing with your cacti and your succulents over the winter very soon. As I say, it's a bit of a mess in here. I've got sort of dead flower heads everywhere because I just haven't had a chance to really go in here and do a lot of tidying, so I'm looking forward to doing that now the weather's warmed up a bit. Also here, Gymnoclysins. You can also see all the cacti starting to really shrivel. This is what they do. This is completely normal now for this time of year. You can see they're shriveling at the base. That's a good sign because they're more protected against the cold. as it has been bitterly cold the previous few days before it's warmed up. So it's good that they're more shriveled. They are. When I say shriveled, I mean that's what cacti do. They do shrivel back to prepare themselves for the winter, because they store water and they use their water stores to get through the winter months. Watering them when they're dormant like this is not good, because sitting in wet soil when they use their water reserves in their bodies and they don't use their roots can cause them to rot. All this here, my lovely Pharaoh cactus here. And we'll have a Carmenera. So they're pretty dormant at the moment, as you can see, but this is more like a little tour. Beginning of December, perfect time to do it. All the cacti, well, they're not all dormant, as I mentioned, with the Cactus colidimonsis, and there's also some more I've had in bud as well. All my lofts, all different types there. I'm just going to take you around to the other side because I can't get around with the table there with the heater on. So just take you around here. And now we're on to this table here. Again, gymnos, pharaohs, Cactus. Sort of a mixture of everything here. Cactus. You can see that at the top. It isn't bugs, that's actually seeds that have got dispersed from this seed pod, and there's seeds at the top there, so I'm going to have to pick them off. And a mixture of everything Parodias. As I say, it's pretty dormant now for them, so not really much to really show you. There's not really things coming into bud. This is my partner Hansi's lovely Lellinghausie, Parodia Lellinghausie. It's a very old one. And it is tall. Again, this here needs pruning off. I've got a lot of plant jobs to do here in the Polytunnel, so stay tuned for lots of videos when I do sort of winter plant jobs and share them with you. And here's some of my lovely Crassula. Also, that is blooming. Bit of a winter bloomer there. Look at that, isn't it just gorgeous? Cactus disciformis. Gymnoclisium Mahina-Vinci, and this is still in bud. I've also got some in my kitchen window as well that I got from my wonderful friends Daz and Edith at Cacti Mania. A lot of them are still in bud, and some of them have been flowering crazy at this time of year. But as I say, I'll do a separate video of the indoor cacti and succulents over the next few days, because there's a lot I have in the house as well. Yeah, a mixture of all different types, pharaohs. Cactus grusonias, Echinopsis, Morae butias. And I'm always being asked, what is this awesome cactus here? This is actually an Echinopsis subdenudata, and the reason why it's sort of round and it has a pup growing on the top is because many years ago it got hit back by spider mite, and this new pup grown at the top. It's an awesome plant, and again also seed pods there that I have to harvest when I've got time. Here, one pup has fallen off, and as I say, it's a bit of a mess. I've got sauce there because I have been going through the plants doing odd jobs, so the tables are not looking as probably tidy and certainly not as clean as they should be. But once I've got a few hours spare, I'm going to be spending time in here. Cactus setispinus, another Echinopsis subdenudata, Mataconopoltsi, Telocactus, some of my gymnos there as well. And I just love the way they go, all these lovely colours, sort of pink and blushing, because we've actually had when it was very cold, we had a lot of sunshine, which did help to heat up inside the Polytunnel during the day. And there's sort of a bit of that sun that comes through, they go that lovely pinkish colour. And this, as I say, this is Diatomaceous earth. It's not bugs, natural with all the powder on. I just found it very difficult to brush off and even blow off on this because it's all caught in the spines. But it protects them. And if you want to know why I use Diatomaceous earth on the cacti, I sprinkle it on, I did make a video. It was probably a week or so ago now on why I like to use Diatomaceous earth to prevent pests on my cacti. And do go ahead and watch that video if you haven't done already. I'll link that video up above. So, hope you're enjoying the little tour around, guys. And here, as I say, there's lots of grit and everything that's gone onto the table, so I need to give everything a bit of a tidy up. But the most important thing, that the plants are doing well. As an example, there's more Diatomaceae over there. And this one, I have blown it off, but for some reason it can't always get rid of it. But it doesn't hurt the plants. In fact, as soon as I start with the watering again in the spring, it all goes away. And the most important thing is they get through the winter. This one is not looking that good. This one is a Gymnocalcium Hortsea, and it's been sort of yellow for ages. I got it out in the summer and the roots were fine, but it's just looking so sickly. So I'm going to have to take this out and have a look what's going on with it. This as well, a little black at the top here. Don't know what's wrong with this. Sometimes this can be even down to too much fertiliser. I like to think I don't over fertilise my cacti, but sometimes if it's just more fertiliser what the cactus does need, it can sometimes get this black at the top. But I have treated it with a systemic fungicide, a rose clear as well, to be on the safe side, but it doesn't seem to be getting any worse. Sometimes cactus develop these black spots as well due to mechanical damage, or sometimes due to the alkaloids in their skin. But with things like this, it can also be fungus, so I may have to remove this one from the collection, even though I've treated it to be on the safe side. Echinopsis here, more. Rhodias. It's lovely hearing them birds, isn't it, in the background? With a nice peaceful. And I have to sort of do these videos very early in the morning because it can get very noisy here where I live. Cars, roadworks, even on a Sunday, guys, barking dogs. So it's nice to hear the birds tweeting away in the background. And underneath here again I have more sort of aloes and things like that, and underneath there is a load of succulents I have to prune back, repot and sort to, so a bit messy as I mentioned. This polytunnel is definitely a working polytunnel for me at the moment. And here I have some of my gasterias under there, and another Gymnocalcium I'll give a bit more shade to, another aloe. My bigger Puntia ossiculata here, and here is all my succulents that I'm also going through at the moment, because I'm going to show you the table that I'm working on here. So they're a bit on the floor, which I don't like, but I just have to work with what I can work with when I've got time. So that's underneath, and then here I've got a stand, and this, by the way, this stand here, the reason why I've got this is because, as I mentioned, I'm going through all my plants and putting them all onto stands as well. Here is Sedum organiums hanging down there, and then here I've got a mixture of others. Lovely variegated gasteria here, some of my succulent Aeniums and things like that as well, and my mother of thousands also. And then here, so got Porticularia afra, lovely variegated one, lovely agave titanota, beauty there, Haworthia tenuata, that I've had since I was 12 years old. And more sedums, mixture under here of different types of succulents, as you can see. And then here, apologies for this plant stand in the way, but I've also got a mixture of Haworthias under here as well, some gasteria. And this is where I keep a lot of the mixed succulents as well, mostly gasteria, aloes, Haworthias. There. And also on here a mixture of many different. To show you around. And these, by the way, I want to mention that these may look very aloe-like, but these are Dicheas fosterianas, and they're actually related to the air plants, the Tillandsias. They're bromeliad types, and they're very cold hardy. So these do really well in greenhouses at this time of year. They're brilliant plants, very, very lovely. Again, I need to repot these next year as well. Beauties. And here, a mixture of agaves, some aloes as well, all on there. So this is a little stand there, just stand back. And now then, guys, and yes, apologies for the messy floor, here is my crassulas. And these are often known as the money jade plants. And I so want to see buds on these because I had them out in the yard over the summer and they loved it. And I've had them flower for me in the past, so I don't know why I'm struggling at the moment. But it's still a bit early for them to form buds. I would love to see them form buds. I've had this particular one, this is my old one here, come into bloom a few times in the past. And just look sometimes whether they're going to bloom or not. They get plenty of light in here, so that's not a problem. And when we get the sun, they get plenty of sun as well. My lovely variegated crassula. Also, I just love the coloration. It's got the variegation on this. It's just gorgeous, isn't it? Oh! And also other type of crassulas. A golem, almost growing like a lovely big bonsai there. Some sedums and some more agaves under the table there. And some small sort of cacti I'm going through there. Now, here, I'm going to show you this on this table here. Now again, this is a bit of a mismatch because, as I say, I've been sorting through this table with all these succulents here. I'm going to be putting some of them onto these two plant stands here and then rearranging. So apologies for the absolute mess of this, guys, but I'm getting there. And here is this side is all tidy because this has all been done. Another Gymnoclisium horsty there. Cactus heterochromus. And this one, this lovely Anacampus, Camperos, yes, I said that right. And I've got a beautiful, lovely succulent there, the lovely pinky peachy coloration to it. Echinopsis hybrids here, all in the bowl. Lovely echeverias here. And this is also a mixture of many different types of cacti here as well. Mostly Gymnos, Spagensis, Gymnomoserianum, Astrophytum capricorn, cultivar buffalo. More gymnos here, and again, more gymnos in bud. Quite amazing at this time of year. Cactus here. Again, this white is bits of the diatomaceae surf that I haven't been able to get off properly, but it protects the plants. So this is great. All on there, and just look at this Astrophytum sinalis variety aureum. Just look at the spines on that, guys. And then here, Sohorentia formosa, lovely cactus here. And this is a lovely double crowned Mammillaria pringlei. And just look at the double crown on that. It is just gorgeous. That is a beauty. Cactus variety. Acanthocalicium violacea with a Mammillaria red-headed Irishman. Another lovely Astrophytum, and these buds have they've dried up now, so I'm going to be picking them off. Denmosa, Rhodocantha, a beauty. Another Astrophytum here. Gymnoclisiums, Echinopsis hybrids, and they're all overwintering pretty good so far, I have to say. And Ferrocactus parodius. So a mixture of a few different things here. This one is a Ferrobergia, and this is a cross between Luxemburgia, which is this beauty here, crossed with Ferrocactus, and this is just absolutely gorgeous. And here, Mammillarias, Copperporas. And then on here I have my sort of spiky plants and soft succulents, Haworthias, and agaves as well. Agave quadricolor, our lovely Gasterias here too, more agaves. I love to mix spiky plants with soft-leaved succulents as well. And my Adromistrus collection, got quite a few of these beauties, and these have been flowering. Sadly the flower spike has died back on that. You can see that there, but it got broke off, but it has been flowering on there. So that's this table here. Just step back so you can see. And then here again, it's a bit of a mess because I've been sort of sorting out the plants, and this is where I had the succulents last time before I've been moving them. So, but these are some of my seedlings that I've grown from seed, little Trochoceros echinopsis cuties there. And these are all my Chamacereus. Oh, pardon me, got the hiccups. Chamacereuses and Labivias. Camalabivias, all these here again, I have to sort all this out. Labivias that I've grown from seed there, I'm going to have to separate them and pot them up in the spring. And here again, more. Also here, more Ibutias and some Clyster cactus as well. And Echinocereus gentris, cucumises. I love the way they just hang, like hanging little sausages. They're awesome cacti, and they're just great. And here, Echinocereus adjustus. There's a bit of a mess on this table, so apologies. But as I say, it's a work in progress. And then here on this table is where I have my very big golden oldies. And I just love these beauties because they have a great age to them. And this one is a Mammillaria. This one is some of my Parodia. This one is actually Parodia woolsori. And it is one I've had for an extremely long time. I also have a Parodia magnifica here that I've also had for very, 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 very long time, and it's just probably one of my most special cacti in my collection. And if you want to know a bit more information on this one and how long I've grown it and the history behind it, then do check a video out I've made on my Parodia magnifica and the history behind it, and I'll link that video up above. It's a stunner. Another Parodia magnifica there as well. And Astrophytum ornatum I've also had an extremely long time, 30 years. So a lot of these cacti here that you're seeing now are really my oldies in the collection. They're very special to me. They might not be the most aesthetically beautiful, but to me they're very special because they have a great age to them. And this one is my big golden bowl, my Echinocactus grusoni. And by the way, I'm going to make a video, guys, on the history behind this one, because I've had this, it's got to be nearly 30 years, probably 30 years or as good as. And I'm going to tell you the history of when I got this and how I grow it in a video very soon. Good to do little histories about all my old plants. The Astrophytum here, lovely Ferrocactus here. Now, by the way, guys, I always mention that I bring my euphorbias in for winter. However, the only two I don't is my Euphorbia horridas, and that's because these, in my experience, are the cold hardy euphorbias. And euphorbias in general, they're succulents that do need a minimum temperature of 10 Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. But the horrida is tough as old boots, and it seems to do well as long as it's kept dry over the winter at 5C, 41 Fahrenheit. And I've got the variegated one here, again, seems to be doing really well. And this one is my old Ferrocactus, big triple multi-headed, again, possibly nearly 30 years now, and very special because it is one that's got 3 heads. And I've made a video about this, the history behind this one as well, and how long I've had it and how I've grown it over the years. So check that video out as well on my triple-headed old Ferrocactus. Links to that video will also be up above. My big Echinopsis here, Oxygona, big multi-headed one. This one is possibly about 70 years old. And by the way, guys, I'm not that old, but I got this from my friend when I lived in Sligo, that he had grown it for many, many, many years. So I know that this has to be about 70 years old, this big multi-headed one, possibly anyway. And I've also had this for nearly 20 years now, I think. So it's just amazing. So this table here, just take you around, see if I've missed any out. Big Trochoceros bridgesii, wacky plant, Mammillaria and Pico. So here in this one I love, this is Einstein I call it. Lovely wacky hairy one. gorgeous. I love these hairy ones, and this lovely big Esbostoa as well. Beauties. So I come around here, and it's Trichoceros candicans also. Show you around here. Now I'm going to show you the big fellas and the extremely spiky ones. Oh, by the way, I'll just show you what I've got underneath here. These are all my epiphyllums. I've got more in my grow room, the smaller ones, but these are mostly the bigger ones that I have here. I just keep these dry over the winter. They're the only type of epiphytic cactus I keep dry because they prefer to have a dry winter rest and cool to produce the flowering in the spring. So that's why these are under there, getting their overwintering, a bit more shade. And I've got some Ripsalis as well that I have here in the Polytunnel, because these particular Ripsalis are colder, hardier than some of the other Ripsalis. And I've also got quite a lot of Ripsalis in my grow room upstairs. So again, I'm going to show you that when I show you the indoor cacti here. They're wacky. I love the way they sort of grow like sticks. And they've got little berries on them as well. They're winter flowering, so probably in January they'll start producing their flowers. More here as well, just hanging down, and some of my epiphyllums also here hanging up, as some of my porocactus, I forgot to mention them also, that are hanging up here, and also another Cleistocactus winterii as well there. It was also blooming gorgeous over the summer. And yeah, before I show you the big tall ones, I'm going to actually show you these. This is my Opuntia collection, and it is, I can't get too close to show you guys because the glow kits on them, when I lean over, I'm going to get stuck and they're lethal. But just a bit of a quick going over here as well with a lot of mine. There's too many to mention, a lot of them. But they're all overwintering as well. They shrivel quite a lot at this time of year. But as I mentioned, I can't get too close here with them. But they're all in the middle table. I just step back because they're not so dangerous to go near. Gonna have to probably offload or certainly prune back a lot of the taller growing Opuntias in the spring, because it's not practical to have these in here. I've had people come and visit and I've got attacked with them, even myself, so I'm gonna have to give them all a good pruning and maybe whittle down the collection quite a bit with these. As much as I love Opuntias, they're not the most friendliest cactus to have, although I do love them. They're just awesome. Now, this is my very large Trichoceros pachanoi crossed with Scopolycola. That is 7 feet high, and that had beautiful blooms over the summer months. Absolutely gorgeous. And then here is the big fellas, and these are, I have a lot of my Trichocereus, another tall cacti that can take the winter cold. And as I say, although I have a heater in here, it is kept at 5 Celsius, 41 Fahrenheit. And it's really important that I don't let it drop below that. Say we've had some bitterly cold temperatures, but amazingly with the heater on, one night it was -4, frost, thick frost and ice outside, but the Polytunnel was kept at 6C with the heater running. And although I have it set at 5C, it will kick on when the temperature drops to 5C or below. It will then go up to 7C and then it will cut off and then keep coming on and off. So it's on a thermostat, so it's far more economical to run than if I just have a heater running constantly. Yeah, my lovely Trichoceros with their lovely big awesome spines. I mean, look at that, it's just gorgeous. And I do know the names of these, I've got the names somewhere. Yeah, Trichoceros chiliensis, although I'm not convinced it is this one, apparently, from what people have said. But just look at the gorgeous spines, it's just beautiful. Here's our more Trichocereus, and this one is my creeping devil. Isn't it just gorgeous? That is just amazing the way this grows. And this is Stenocactus eruca. It's just beautiful, and yes, it leans over like that. That's how they grow. That's why it's called the creeping devil cactus. It just sort of grows leaning over like this. This is the new growth it put on this year. Absolutely amazing, awesome cactus. By the Anyway guys, I just want to mention that I made a video the other day on how to get your cactus through the winter. So if you haven't seen that video, do go and check that video out. Lots of tips on there on how your cactus can survive through the winter months. Links to that video will be up above. This is my big Pachysarius pringlei. That is 5 feet. And I've got some smaller Pringleys that I bring into the house for the winter, but because this is a mature specimen, it can take it quite well out here in the Polytunnel, no problem at all. And Pachysarius marginatus here. It's a big load of bubble wrap that I throw onto the tables as well for a bit of extra protection if it gets too cold. Here, all mixture of Trichosarius also, and other varieties of tall cactus plants. Trichosarius beauties as well. Again, can't get too close, but these are all my younger seedlings that I've grown from seed. More under there as well. All seem to be doing pretty well. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. I'm sure I've missed some plants out, but this is as I say, it's more just an update at the moment. This is the time of year when all the plants really are pretty much snoozing now, and can't believe it's December already, guys. So then guys, I hope you enjoyed the December Cactus Succulent Polytunnel Collection tour, and as I mentioned, do stay tuned for a future video coming up in the next few days, certainly within the next 2 weeks, of the cacti and succulents I've got in the house that I've had to bring in for the winter months, because there's quite a lot in there as well. If you haven't done already, please do subscribe and click that notification bell, and also check my website out, desertplantsofavalon.com, for lots of care tips on growing cacti and succulents on there. I want to wish you all a fantastic cactus powered December.